Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Tacho Show. Now today we're going to go ahead and do a builds video for the Bride Lana, our most recent Tempest Trial Prize unit. Very adorable artwork here for Lana, and the story in the paralogs was actually very cute too. How her and Tine were, or I can't remember if it was Lana and Tine or Julia and Tine. They were going around trying to collect as many bouquets as they could. And secretly their plan was to give them to Ishtar. To, like, hope for her to get a happy marriage later on in her life. So that was actually very precious. I did enjoy the story this time around. So Lana, she's the first free-to-play staff unit we've gotten in quite some time. And what really sets her apart from the rest, I think, is that she's not only just a staff unit, but she's also a flyer, which means she gets access to all the good flyer skills, like Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, Air Orders 4, Crux, and so on and so forth. All of those are really good, and if she was just like an infantry staff, she would not be able to use those. And as staff units are already as shafted as possible when it comes to new skills and passives, it's definitely going to help her out quite a bit. So here's her stat line. We've got 40 HP, 47 attack, 41 speed, 24 defense, and 31 res. Gives her an overall BST of 183, and then she does have triple super boons on attack, speed, and defense. Attack and speed is just fine. We'll definitely want to take those for her. She is geared more towards being an offensive type of unit. Her attack is really high, actually. Like 47 attack for a staff type unit. As we're going to see when we compare her to her contemporary units. That's actually the highest by a lot. So it's very good that she has good attack like that. She's not the fastest one, though. There are other staff units that are faster than her, though. So maybe some food for thought. If you want to sacrifice some speed for power, Lana would be your go-to choice. Now, her weapon here, Bouquet Baton, I was actually underselling this a little in the data mine video. I knew it was going to be a solid one because we don't really get too many inheritable staffs often. And we only have one arcane staff as well. But after running the numbers and like looking at all the other staffs, this is actually the best one. So this is the best inheritable staff in the game currently. It's even better than Hortensia's staff. It's better than the Summer Larachel staff. This is your go-to staff now. So for allies in 3 rows of 3 columns, she's granting attack and speed of 5 and neutralize penalties on those allies during combat as a drive support. Already very good, because the only way to stop these is with feud, which is not particularly common right now. So very good. And then also if you initiate combat or you're in 2 spaces of an ally, then you get all stats of 5. You neutralize the penalties on yourself, and then also deal plus X damage during combat with a max of 15. And X is going to be the number of allies in 3 columns of 3 rows centered on you times 5. So in order to get the full 15 here, you would need 3 allies, which is perfectly fine. And these staff units are always great recipients of the Lin Ring. So when you're attacking from 5 spaces away, it's very likely that you're going to have a lot of allies close by anyway. So all that stuff is very good, and then you're free to refine this to have Dazzling Staff or Wrathful Staff, whichever of the 2 you prefer, and then we have Tidings and Sway now to get you the other one. So Razzle Dazzle in full force here. The rest of her kit here, we have Physic at, what was it, at 5-star, Physic Plus at 5-star, and then we have Wind Firebomb at 4-star. And then we have Attack and Speed Form 3 at 4-star and Speed and Res Rain 3 at 5-star. They knew what they were doing when they gave her these passives. Form 3 is the prerequisite for Tidings and Sway, and then Rain is the prerequisite for Crux, both of which I think are premier skills to be giving to Lana. So, yeah, they hooked us up with the prerequisite skills already, and these are also pretty good fodder skills for other allies to try to pick up some heavier skills in the future for them. So, all things considered, we did pretty good here with Lana. So this is the scoring now. So she scores in the same bin as Yulia, who is a previous demo, or yeah, she is a demo, but she's not like a Tempest Trial or Grand Hero Battle. She was just a 3-star on banners. So her scoring is the exact same as Lana, and she is not scoring as high as Cyril. RIP, Cyril is still the gatekeeper for arena scoring. And then Panette and Marnie are, they're on another planet, man. There's not really many free-to-play units that can even come close to them right now. Okay, so there we go for scoring. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how Lana stacks up to the other demote staff units that you may want to build. Now, I tried to focus more towards units that have a lot of attack and speed and maybe don't really have so much defense and res, because that's what Lana is trying to do here with her stat line. So she gets 5 flowers, of course, because she's a recent unit. Scion Nana is the other flying staff type unit who released ages ago, and she is a little bit faster. The 20 flowers that Nana gets does help her out quite a bit here. So we do see she has 3 more points of speed than Lana. Both of them have super boons on speed as well. So there's no like +1 shenanigans to either of them for speed. Their defense and res are pretty similar. They have the exact same res, and then Nana actually has a little bit more defense by 2 points. But where they really differ is on attack, and this is insurmountable. Like, Lana has so much more attack than Nana, and she also has a super boon on attack, which basically gives her an extra point there, which Nana is never going to be able to overcome. So, despite 3 less points of speed, I would say Lana's just better because of the attack. Alright, then we have Pandreo up next. This guy's not a flyer, he is a infantry type. So he's got access to a couple of different skills as well. Now, what sets him apart from the other ones is that his res is really good. He has the highest res out of all of these units we're going to look at. So that means he's got access to a bunch of skills too, like the Gold Border Ploy skills and Havoc and the Split Discords. Those are all really good, and he's going to be the one that uses them the best. So that does set him apart a little bit. Similar on speed, Pandreo and Lana have basically the same speed. It's just 1 point for Lana in her favor. And then on attack, Lana is stronger, but not by like a significant enough amount to say she's like always better just because the res on Pandreo is so good. So they're all like kind of different and unique in their own way. And then finally we have Yulia, who is the fastest out of the bunch. Her res is a little better than Nana and Lana, but it's not as good as Pandreo. So 38 res is still like workable enough. I guess you could get away with Gold Border Ploys and Havoc and Split Discords if you wanted. Although it's probably going to be a little harder for her to get the full benefit out of those. Really, it's just the attack and speed that you would want Yulia for, and her speed is way better than Lana's. She's got like 6 more points of speed, but the attack is also way better on Lana than it is on Yulia, so yeah, you're going to have to really pick and choose which one of these staff units you like the best, or which one of them has the stat placements that you prefer the most, because they're all like kind of usable, except Nana, I would say. Nana is just a little bit too old with that 39 attack stat. The other modern ones are pretty solid, and they all can do something. So there you go for that, and now finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the builds here. So this is the first build, and this is probably going to be the cookie cutter build for not just Lana, but basically all of your staff units that are building for attack and speed here. So Bouquet Baton, as I explained already, it's pretty much the best inheritable staff in the game now. Ice Lock, also pretty much the best assist for these staff type units. You could also mix it up though. If you want movement, like if you want reposition or like shove or whatever, you are also able to go for return or rescue or nudge as well. Those are all pretty solid just for the movement. But overall, though, Ice Lock giving you that second action and putting up the ice terrain is just like way too valuable for you to not even run, right? Like, I think if you're running a staff type unit, you probably want to give them Ice Lock. Like we said before, the Lin Ring is the way to go. And Holy Pressure here, I would say, is the best special because it inflicts gravity and it also gives us the highest attack boost by, I think it's 45% of our res. You could also try Glitter of Light, though. That's also not a bad one. It's less cooldown. It's 2 hits, whereas this one is 3 hits. And then it does 25% bonus damage on res, so it's going to hit a little weaker. But the benefit, though, is that it inflicts flash after combat. So that's like one of the more helpful special effects on these staff-type specials. But overall, though, I would say Holy Pressure is probably the best one. Then we have Sway, Attack, and Speed here. You're free to go for either one, like Sway or Tidings. Both are fine. And then you refine the weapon to have the opposite, Razzle or Dazzle, depending on which one you go for. So perfectly fine there. And then Call to Serve. Now, this one's really good. It gives you even more ally support, because Bouquet Baton's already giving a ton of support. And then Call to Serve gives even more. So you activate Ice Lock, and then you're giving the target ally and all allies in 2 spaces nullify foe bonuses in combat as a status. And then all those allies are getting +5 damage in combat while you're on the map with Call to Serve. And then same thing for Lana. She's also getting attack up 5. So it's just like overall the best one to go for. And then Speed and Res Crux, like I said, it's pretty good that she's a flyer and she's got access to that. So that can help her out quite a bit. And then Soaring Echo is always the Echo skill of choice for these flyers. Although, which one is it? Trace Echo is pretty good too. Yeah, Far Trace Echo could also work out. Because we don't really have Kanto on this build if you look at it. So if you wanted her to have Kanto, then that could be possible too. Although, it's hard to say if that would really be all that necessary though. Because the only thing she's really going to be doing is supporting, setting up ice tiles, and then if she needs to attack, she'll do it with the Lin Ring. So, yeah, I think Soaring Echo is probably better, but Far Trace can also be a pretty good Echo skill. And then finally, we have the second build here. This one is just showing off some different skills here. So Resonance 4, we actually have a Trace skill with Resonance built in. I think it's called Resound, Attack Res Resound. The problem, though, with that is that it's not doing the stats that she would want. It does minus attack and minus res to the foe. Resonance is doing minus speed and minus res. We don't get the Kanto out of this, but that's fine. We can actually go for Sigurd Ring. So Sigurd Ring gives us Kanto, and then it also gives us the +1 movement. So just an alternative to the Lin Ring if you want to go for that. And then this time we're going for Tidings and the Wrathful Staff Refine as opposed to Sway and the Dazzling Staff Refine. And then Shadow Shift, which I think is also a really good skill, and Shadow Smite by extension. Both of these are pretty good, because one thing I don't like about staff units is that, yeah, Ice Lock is really good, but I do like having Reposition or, like, Shove or something on all of my units just to have that movement utility. Shadow Shift can give that access to our staff-type unit, and what's cool about Lana is that her being a flyer means she gets it. Like, the infantry staff units, they're not able to get Shadow Shift or Shadow Smite. So, just another play in her favor here with her being the correct movement type to get a bunch of good skills. And then Blade Session, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's basically the best option for these staff units if you're trying to go for offense anyway. You could also try, like, the HP 5 and double stat level 3s if you want to go for that, but staff units, they already have, like, such a low amount of access to skills that I think Blade Session's probably your best bet. And it's also giving the highest attack and speed amount anyway. So, yeah, there you guys go. Those are the builds for Lana and I guess all your other staff units that you may be thinking about building. At least the ones with a lot of attack and speed. Like Pandreo would want to go for, like, Havoc and maybe Gold Border Ploys and stuff like that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Lana is seemingly a pretty solid unit and not a bad choice to go for a merge project if you're interested. So that's going to wrap us up for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.